Whatever. That's like a whatever introduction. But thank you. That's very true. So for the people on Periscope and Facebook Live, if you want the download, if you go to, if you tag the keyword scope, text it to 832-447-2822, and you'll get the download. They're going to ask you, Jacqueline and Coach Tandy, about 15 times. What's the number? Ask one of my scribes that's on there to just keep putting it up. 832-447-2822. Text the word scope with no signature if they're on iPhone. So I'm going to talk about live stream, but I want to talk about several different things as it relates to social media. Some of the things that I really, really found before I get into these 5 C's, so that you don't overwhelm yourself with what do I do next. Because a confused mind does what? Nothing. The minute you get confused, you get overwhelmed, you get information overload, you take all of this information back, and then you do absolutely positively nothing with it. So I took a few notes of what Warren was saying, and I'm going to kind of blend that into what I'm saying. Then I'm going to go over the 5 C's, and I'm going to do it all in an hour. Hold me on to that. So Warren was talking about Instagram. I'm going to talk about live stream, which is a combination of videos, Facebook Live, Periscope. Then there's Facebook, and then there's Twitter, and Roberto was talking about Twitter and how he loves Twitter, and then you got all these social media platforms, and every expert that stands in front of you is going to tell you, this is the platform you need to be on, this is the platform you need to be on. And all of them are right to a certain extent, but what I am going to tell you is that you can't boil the ocean, so you really need to choose. You really need to choose and say, that's why Warren has been successful on Instagram, because he didn't play with Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. He went and he dominated Instagram. If you're going to do something, dominate. Because you're better off dominating on one platform or 1.5 platforms than you are trying to be everywhere and everything for everybody. So first and foremost, choose a platform and say, this is the platform I'm going to choose. This is the one I'm going to learn. And this is the one I'm going to dominate. And when I say dominate, I mean show up every day consistently with killer content or curating content. And I'm gonna tell you the difference between the two. But the more you show up on that platform, the more people get used to you showing up on that platform, and the more your followers grow. I would rather have 50 or 100,000 followers on one platform than 2,000 over here and 2,000 over here, 2,000 over here. And I'm going to show you in a minute and talk to you about how some things you can do to dominate on that platform. But whatever platform you choose to dominate. That's number one. So write down dominate. Don't just look at me. Write down dominate. That's important. Number 2, whatever platform you choose, realize the importance of video on that platform, not just for today, but video is the future. Video is where every platform is going. They're talking about incorporating video into LinkedIn. YouTube now has YouTube Connect, which is the YouTube Live. The Facebook has Facebook Live. Of course, Twitter bought Periscope, which is, another live app. Live video, live streaming video, it's not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, they said that within the next 2 to 5 years, 80 to 90% of all marketing will be via video. So if you ignore video right now, what you're going to do is end up with the masses 2 years from now. If you execute right now, you have an opportunity to get in as a pioneer, as a leader in your industry, whatever that is. And what's the first word I gave you? Dominate. It's all about domination. If I'm going to take over, I want to be the go-to, and the only way you can take over is to be the first, or at least maybe the second. But don't be number 45 and think your content is that much greater than anybody else's content that they're going to be able to find on Google or anywhere else, or Bing or anywhere else. Show up and bring the stuff that matters. So choose a platform and make sure you incorporate video. Searchability is another trend on social media. So if we're going to talk trends, domination, choosing a platform and video, and then searchability. The more and more information and content that gets poured onto the internet, the more important it becomes for Google and YouTube and other powerful search engines, because YouTube is the second largest search engine. Don't get it twisted. So when I say YouTube is a search engine, it is. But it becomes more and more important for them to be able to index that information so that people can find it. Information that can't be found can't be used. So what Warren was telling you about hashtags is absolutely positively correct. Hashtag everything. There's a song called Uber Everywhere. Hashtag, I know this because I got twins at 19. I'm hip. They keep me on it, even when I really don't care. But they tend to put that stuff in my hand anyway. But hashtag everything, especially as I was telling you in dinner last night. The more unique your field, the more you must hashtag your stuff. Because when it goes out into the Twitter verse or the internet verse or the Facebook verse or the Instagram verse, you don't want to just be another post. So if you don't hashtag everything, then you're going to struggle. And a website we use all the time is called Hashtagify. So we use it as slang. Girl, you better hashtagify that. You know, so because if you go to Hashtagify and you put in what you do, it's going to give you correlating hashtags for whatever it is you do. You may not be like Warren and want to dig deep and find, 30 hashtags to go. Because I'm not. I can't. It's just not me. It's just not my thing. But, just making sure you have relevant hashtags keeps your information floating for much, much longer. And we're going to talk about the two. And it increases the shareability of your content. That's another word you want to write down, shareability. And I'm going to give you 2 books. So we said Domination. We said choose a platform. Make sure you use video. Make sure you use hashtags. Because searchability. Now shareability. There's 2 ways that you can put content out into the world. What Warren was talking about is called content curation. Meaning I didn't create it. I just went and found some killer content that I think would be relevant to my platform, and now I'm sharing it with my platform, and people appreciate that. The other thing is content creation. And when you're on video every day, like I am 2-3 times a day, like they are 2-3 times a day, your ability to create content gets better and better and better and better. I'm literally a maestro in creating content. I can create a 10-week course in 15 minutes and have the syllabus done and the link ready, the landing page, and be selling it, literally, by the time my team gets through building it. If they say they want a class this morning, I get 100 people to say me. In an hour, I'm back and I'm like, here's the link, y'all go sign up. Because when you do, repetition is the mother of all skill. Anything you do over and over, you get what? Better and better and better. I'm not on the internet talking about the weather. Every day that I'm on, I'm talking about creating more revenue, building more products, how to utilize social media to monetize. That's all I talk about. Revenue, 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 revenue. Money, 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 money. So eventually you get good at it. And eventually you start to get a sense of what works and what doesn't, just like Warren was saying. He knows what to say in the title to get people to click on it. You put a couple of things out there that don't nobody touch long enough, and you get better at saying, "Oh, I'm not gonna phrase it that way. I'm gonna phrase it this way." The 2 books I want to give you. One is Contagious by Jonah Berger. And the second, this is gold mine. I read over 100 books a year. Roberta will tell you. Troy is literally kicking through the door every day when he get home. He's like, "You got some more books from Amazon? You got some more books from Amazon? You got some more?" So I will read 50 books to find that one book that's just like, everybody need to read this book. One of them is Contagious by Jonah Berger, and the other is called Made to Stick by Chip and Dan Heath. Yeah. Made to Stick. It's got a piece of duct tape on the front. Those 2 books really go in depth about your ability to put content out on the internet that people not only consume, but they share. What makes things go viral? What will make a video have 5,000 people watch it versus 500 people watch it versus 50 people watch it? It's a big difference. And people are always talking about viral this and viral that. But in my world, if I get 6,000, 7,000 views on a video, I'm cool with it. I don't want one view, one video that gets 100,000 hits, and I could never replicate that. I want to be micro viral. Let me get 2 or 3 videos a week that have 5,000 or 6,000 people watching it. Because that alone is more people than we could probably get in the ballroom in this hotel. So those 2 books are really, really great as it relates to making things viral. Another key thing in the importance of video and live stream is once you create a video, you can recycle. Recycle, recycle, recycle. You can put them on your website because websites with video have an 85% faster conversion rate. If you don't know the stats on video, look it up. Websites with video sell faster. They just do, and they boost your credibility. Anytime anybody looks at your website and they see videos, you instantly become more credible. So that's the argument for videos. And if you do a video on live stream, that's not just video I did and it's wasted. You can create a portal. As a matter of fact, we have about 500 videos now that we're isolating, and we're going to put behind a members area and charge people $49 for unlimited access to watch my videos. That's money that you don't have to create anything, and you've already done the work. Videos are just amazing. The conversion rate with video is, they say if a picture is worth 1,000 words, a video is worth 1.2 million. One video. The same discovery calls I was doing as a coach, business consultant, advisor, a year ago to fill a class with 30 people. I do none of those calls now and can fill a class with 125, 150 in a 15 to 21 day marketing cycle. So it makes a big difference because video lets people get to know you. They think they know you. And that's that know, like, and trust factor. People do business with who they know, like, and trust. You show up every day on video, they get to know you quicker. You show up every day on video, they get to like you. They get to make a decision as to whether they like you or not quicker. And then they get to make a decision as to whether they trust you or not quicker. So another word I want you to write down is consistency. Because if you don't know that drives your revenue stream, regardless as to what you do, it does. Can you show up daily and be the same you were yesterday and the day before and the day before? To me, live stream is the great equalizer. Because they're not looking at how cute you are. Do you know what you're talking about? Do you? Because if you don't, it's going to be so readily apparent on live stream that it's unreal. They can watch a couple of videos and you might have fluffed it up. I'm 2,000 videos in. You can't fake that. You can't. And people are like, oh, okay. She knows what she's talking about. Another thing from a personal development standpoint, I'm smarter and stronger and faster because of video. When I used to speak 100 times a year, that was a lot for a speaker. A couple times a week, that's a lot. But to show up and do 3 speeches a day changes everything. So I always have to be feeding my mind with new things, and it elevates my mentality because I'm always looking and begging to differ or agreeing with some point of contention. So as a person, live stream makes you eat, sleep, and breathe your craft. It makes you get good at what you do. You want to be an industry leader? Start hitting that start broadcast button. Because when I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I know I got to go live 3 times. What am I going to talk about? Okay, I can talk about the new book I'm reading. Okay, I can talk about the other new book I'm reading. Right? Okay, I can talk about this article I read. Or I can do a case study. Something happened with one of my new clients. Or I can talk about some feedback I got from a new class. But it makes you like do a day in review, like every single day. What am I going to talk about when I go on live stream? Monetization. Oh my God. Live stream makes you the ultimate ultimate marketer. It just does. And now that my team is putting the technology in place to keep up with what I'm doing on live stream, it's crazy. It's crazy that my reach will be 2 and 3 years into the future, even if I'm not here. And that's the generational wealth that I'm looking for my family. I don't want to leave tomorrow and everything that I have intellectual property wise, take it with me. So that's another thing that video does. Video preserves your knowledge. And let's just be honest about knowledge. While technology is always changing, most base level knowledge doesn't. The knowledge on how to be great, the knowledge on how to succeed, they say success leaves clues. The knowledge on how to get over yourself, get past yourself, a positive self-talk, all of that stuff. If you go all the way back to Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich, and all the way back to Florence Scovel Shinn and The Game of Life and How to Play It, all of that baseline knowledge is still the same. So you put it in video, and I'll tell you who the master was before live stream even came into play. Y'all remember Jack LaLanne? Mm-hmm. Y'all remember him? Let me tell you something. Somebody asked me on one live stream one day, why do you always wear a black t-shirt or a white t-shirt? Every time you go live, you have on a black t-shirt or a white t-shirt. I said, well, not that's any of your business. So I had to get that out the way. But once I got over that, I said the business justification is if you go back and look at Jack LaLanne, and he always had on like that gray jogger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, his video's timeless.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You couldn't tell if he made that video yesterday, 20 years ago, or 50 years ago. That knowledge that he talked about juicing and health and all of that, that knowledge is still relevant. Mm-hmm. Even though he may not be around, his knowledge, his name, it still is. That's what videos do for you. Videos make your knowledge timeless. So don't sleep on videos. Roberto talked about it. This is just even before the presentation. These are all just things that I came up just, you need to know. Roberto talked about execution. There's no greater execution than hitting that start broadcast button. It is the hardest thing for people to do. It is the hardest. I don't care who you are. It is single-handedly the hardest thing to do. But once you do it, and that's like anything that's hard to get on the other side. You know, they say hindsight is 20/20. When you get on the other side, you realize a couple different things. One, it's not as hard as you thought.
And you gotta look at the camera.
And you should have been done did it a long time ago. It's just when will you make that realization? And two, everybody's scared. Just because I made 2,000 videos doesn't mean that I have a level of comfort now that I didn't have at video 1 and video 2 and video 3. But you never get over the fear of nobody's going to show up. Nobody's going to like it. You never get over that. You throw 1,000 events, 1,000 parties, and you still in the event hall an hour before everybody's due saying, ain't nobody gonna come. I don't care how popular you are. That never goes away. I guess they're from birthday parties in our childhood. I don't know. But execution, the do factor, it changes everything with live stream. So you may say, my hair's not cute today. I'm not going to go live. I don't have anything to wear. I'm not going to go live. That person laying in the bed that went live is going to be ahead of you because they went live. And it truly is a no judgment zone. People are not judging you. People come to you because of your hashtags, because of your scope title names. They come looking for you. That's the difference. I don't go out and get anybody. If 3,000 people log into this video, it wasn't a person that I went and got. That person chose to show up during that time and spend their time with me. I'm blessed for it, but I did not go get them. The hashtags, the titles, your content keeps them coming back. So if any one thing as you walk away from here today, no, you're not going to be the expert off the rip. Don't allow that spirit of perfection to keep you from starting, because if you never start, you never finish. And that's the saddest thing. That's the biggest, to me, fail ever. You know, a lot of times we don't want to start because we're afraid of failure. But when you don't start, when you don't do, you failed already. In my book, I failed 1,000 times. I tell them about it. Oh, I have no shame in my failure. I had launched a 10-week write your book course. Actually, I was going to teach them how to write books, blogs, just teach them how to write. Teach them how to get it out of their head and on paper. Ooh, wasn't nobody interested in it. I had like 7 people sign up. I marketed it for like 2 weeks, which is unheard of. Because normally week 1, 25 people, week 2, 50 people. The last week we normally have about 50 people sign up. So 100 people are better. I had like 10 people sign up. I said, girl, that was a buzz. So, but what we gonna do? I gave the 10 people back their money, pulled it into a write your ebook 2-hour workshop for $39, put it out there. Sold 300 the first time, 200 the second time, 200 more the third time. 700 people with $40 each for me to show up for 2 hours. It's a no-brainer. So I didn't fail. I just didn't do it right the first time. And that's what you're going to learn about monetizing on live stream, is when you put something out, if folks don't want it, they're not going to take it. But it doesn't take you forever to figure out they don't want it. And if you figure out they don't want it, get the bait up out the water and put. You must always be engaging your crowd. And you know that old 80-20 rule? Show up 80% of the time, and 20% of the time gives you the right to offer a product or service. That's true. But when you're doing 3-hour-long videos a day, I did my 80%. Every time I hit start broadcast, I can make an offer. Why? I've already did an hour of teaching, encouraging, and motivating. So that means every single time I hit the start broadcast button, I can make an offer. Because I've already helped. I've already given. I've already sowed seeds. I've already fostered community. I've already done all of that. So I can make an offer. Last but not least is volume. Do not sleep on the volume that not only video creates real time, but the after effect of video. And I was telling Roberto, I had about 4,000 followers on Facebook on my personal page. This is not including any groups I have. I have groups with 5,000 or better. I have pages with 5,000 or better. My personal page. I want to say content. Goodness gracious. You know, every day there's an exercise in getting out of your head and saying, what do I want to say to people about my cause, about my product, about my service, about my mission. I'm reading, again, rereading. There's a book by Bob Berg called Go Givers Sell More. He's got a book called The Go Givers, a little red book. But there's another green book called Go Givers Sell More. And in that book, he says that you must answer the question, you know, how are you serving? On a day-to-day basis, how are you showing up to serve people? He said you also have to ask the question, how am I making money? But that can't never be your first question. You always got to monetize, but it can't be your first question. So the first way I show up to serve every single day is with content. And since my brand revolves around empowering women to do what they love to do and get paid a boatload of money for it, and that they can, and there's no restrictions, every day I show up. And that's what I talk about. I talk about other women who have gone on to make a boatload of money. I talk about ways they can go on to make a boatload of money. And I never vary from that. Thank you, baby. I never vary from that. You're not going to see me talking about weight loss for obvious doggone reasons. Hello? You're not going to see me talking about weather. You're not going to see me talking. And that's where we struggle. Because we don't pick a lane and stay in that lane. We want to be a jack of all trades and an absolute positive master of none. And that does not foster trust with people, because you're talking about one thing today and another thing tomorrow. So content is critical, and one thing you've got to learn is how to educate and empower without giving away the farm. If you don't understand how to educate and empower without giving away the farm, you're going to show up every day, you're going to empower, and you're going to educate, and nobody's ever going to buy your stuff. Because you've given them enough that they think they can do it by themselves. Truth be told, if they could do it by themselves, they'd have done it already. So if they don't need you for anything but the accountability, they still need you. Or if they don't need you but for anything but further education, they still need you. So content is critical, critical, critical. And the way you really start to develop content is you have to write and journal every day. You do. You have to read, write, and journal every day about your business. You've got to become an industry expert. You can't. It's so many people out there. Oh my goodness. They say they experts. They not. It's the truth. Because everything that glitters is absolutely positively not gold. So there are a lot of people out there that say they can do this and say they can do this, but they really coach people in circles with no results. Two psychoanalysts wrote a book called The Tools. If you ever find yourself stuck in your own head, it's a great book to read. And the reason they said they wrote it is because psychiatrists weren't helping fix people. They were helping people stay in the past. And they had clients coming to them saying, fix me. And all they had was the old Sigmund and Freud and all that old tools to keep you stuck in your head. So they went and developed this book called The Tools. I said it to say that's most coaching. Most coaching, well, what do you think is the answer? Oh, well, why don't you work on that model? But they never help you get results. As a matter of fact, most coaches don't have trees that have fruit. And what I mean by that is that they're popular and they have revenue, but if you look at their client list, their clients are not popular and their clients don't have revenue. That's a problem. If you're not teaching people to grow or overcome or be empowered, then what are you doing? You're just glittering. You're just glittering. So you have to know the difference between the content that helps them grow but still needs you to a certain extent so that you can finish the growth in your classes. If not, you kind of create a bad situation where they think they have the knowledge they need and they go out and they jack it up further. Number 2 is connections. Connections on Livestream are huge. Livestream has its own Who's Who Cool Kid community. It just does, as most applications do. So you guys have got to develop your own Who's Who Cool Kid community. I told you guys that the other day. Get together and start supporting each other on Livestream. It's huge. You don't want to show up with an empty room of people. If you do, you're going to hate it. And you're probably not going to go back. So partner, collaborate, share what works, share information, create your own community, and support each other. And the people, they'll come. Collaboration is critical too. I've met so many new business partners. I know Warren was talking about joint ventures and affiliates. I got business partners, man. We don't even worry about all that. We just say, look, I'm going to help you, you help me, and we go. Because guess what? We all going to get bread.
Women in Lime Lives.
What?
Remember last night at supper? Women in Lime Lives. Will.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Well, you came up with it.
I'm good at that. I'm a master marketer for real. And that came from the years that Chase coming up with campaigns. But if you don't have partners that you're willing to do anything for, you gotta show up for them. It's beyond business because we're women and we don't do anything that's just robotic. Everything we do with heart, we do with feeling. I'm not saying get out there and be a fool, because, create and establish partnerships with people who partner with you as equals. Nobody's, the king and nobody's the queen, and it's none of that. We all equals on the platform. So cash. I don't know what to tell you. Anybody want to increase their revenue, raise your hand. Live stream is the way to do it. I'll easily make $1 million this year on live streaming, probably 5 next year. I can't believe it, so you might have to remind me. You might have to remind me. I don't believe the reports when they come out every month. I don't believe the classes when they sell out. I don't. I just don't. I don't know where all the people. And with a lot less work than I was doing to make a couple $100,000. With a lot less getting dressed, with a lot less networking, with a lot less showing up, with a lot less effort, with a lot less. I'm investing time in other ways, and that's how the live stream is going to continue to grow, and that's how the revenue is going to continue to grow, because everything we're doing, that we're about to start doing, is not just what are we doing today, but what are we doing today, and what are we doing for the next 5 years, 10 years. So how are we going to take today and make it work for the next 5 years, 10 years. But the revenue is real. I don't even know what else to tell you. But get out there, you know. You can literally monetize anything from books to journals to eating plans to how to live right, challenges. I don't even, it's rare for me to use freemiums to grow my list, because now I can grow my list by 200 or 300 people with a 21-day challenge that I charge $21 for. So you may not think that's big, but to get 300 people to pay you $21 for an email challenge that you don't have to do anything with, and the emails go, that's $6,000 and 300 people on your list. So my goal is to grow my list to at least $100,000 by 100,000 people by this time next year, and not just 100,000. I don't know who you are. 100,000 targeted, segmented. I'm here to serve you. What do you need? Do you want to quit your job? You want to learn more about live stream? You want to create more products? What do you want from me, and how can I serve you? And I want to show up and serve them day in, day out, through emails and through videos, you know, until I get tired or they get tired of me. And it's a big difference. And if you talk to most digital marketers, they will tell you that the number one mistake they made is not building their list. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not building a targeted list, you need to start yesterday. Like, you need to literally be in the airport strategizing about how you're going to build your list. You can't wait till the product gets here. You say, oh, well, when I finish my book, I'm going to start my list too late. Oh, when I finish creating this, and that's another thing, get out of the lab. Launch some stuff already. Get out your own head. You're not going to know if it works or not till you put it out there. Don't be afraid to fall flat on your face. And that's some real stuff too, because that's what, the faster you fail, the faster you succeed. And that's the fastest waste of cash. You're not going to know what people are going to buy sometimes until you put it out there. If they don't buy it, no harm, no foul, right? Mm-hmm. If they don't buy it and you know they need it, maybe you didn't package it in a way that helps them know they need it. So sometimes you can just pull stuff back in, rename it, redo the graphics, repackage it and put it right back out there, and people snap it up. So you just have to stay, and that's another thing live stream does. Helps you stay in touch with the people. What y'all need from me? Oh, that's what y'all need? I'll be back. We go get a link. And they know it's true. Even the people watching now, they know it's true. Mm-hmm. I am who I am every day. When I show up, I am who I am. I'm a tough coach. I'm a no-nonsense coach. I'm going to make you do your work. I'm going to force you to go get money. If I see you with a product that doesn't depict your value, I'm going to call you. I'm going to fuss, because your success is important to me. If it wasn't, I wouldn't do this. I would have stayed at the bank and made money with my feet put up. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to change the world. And y'all can't change the world until you actually get some stuff in front of people. You can't change the world with the notes you got on paper. Sorry. It doesn't work. You want to really change some lives? You got to execute. And that's the truth. Last but not least, consistency. That's the number one question I get from entrepreneurs. How do you remain consistent? I tell people all the time that I'm driven by purpose, but I'm powered by God. And a lot of times that allows me to do way more than I could conceive that I would do. But I am on purpose. And I know this is what I was created for. And I know that every obstacle, every dip in the valley, Every time I felt like giving up was all for this, right here, right now. And I'm rock solid in that. I'm unshakable in that. Therefore, every day I show up and I'm unapologetically great. Not because of who I am, but because of who he is. And I don't apologize for it. Because if we're created in his image, guess what? We were created to be great. So stop shying away from your greatness. Stop making excuses for being great. Stop hiding your gifts and talents from people. Hit that start broadcast button and tell the world who you are. And it's not a day that goes by that I don't get at least one message, if not 10, from somebody that says, because you showed up. Because you showed up with no wig on, it gave me the courage to do it. Because you showed up with no college degree and killed the corporate game, and now you're killing the game as an entrepreneur, it lets me know I can do it. Because you showed up as a single mother with 3 kids, and now you're sending your kids to school paying cash for their tuition. They don't have to have student loans and grants. Because you showed up, I can show up. So for each and every one of you, everything that's happened to you happened for a reason. And you might have saw it coming and didn't do nothing about it. I remember the conversation me and you had in January at my birthday party. And I said, move your feet, Trent. What you say? Oh, okay, all right. You're either gonna move him or he's gonna make you move. He's gonna make you so incredibly uncomfortable that you have no choice but to execute. Do it before you become uncomfortable. Do it while it's easy. There's no such thing as easy. Just easier. So that's my long and short of live stream. I think if it's anything I can tell you, it's just do it. Just do it now. And it is hard. It is difficult. Do it as a group. It makes it easier. Easier. Ooh, did I make my hour? What questions I got? I made my hour one.
Questions?
Yeah, what's the 5th one? I only got 4.
Content, connections, collaborations, cash, and
Oh, collaborate. I put collaborations under connections. I thought you were talking about the same thing.
Two different things. So connections being the people at your level that you work to grow each other's periscopes. Collaborations meaning the people at a level above you or the people who have the power to make change in your world. That's just my
Okay.
definitions. You come on. Bye, y'all. See y'all later.